Good evening, and today we have an unboxing. I know what's in here, but you don't. So, I actually only ordered this a couple of days ago at most. It's an online exclusive from Character Options, and it involves a couple of my favourite things actually. Just going to open it now. This is exciting. Are you ready for this? We have, inside this box, we have another box. And inside this box, which I'm now going to open with great skill and dexterity, we should have another box. Open this up. Can you see Doctor Who? It is, and I'm sure many people will have already guessed this, as I try and tip it out. It is the Character Options online exclusive Ruins of Skaro set. Now, this is from a Doctor Who story called Destiny of the Daleks. Now, Destiny of the Daleks has a particular place in my heart because it's when I really first became a proper Doctor Who fan. I remember actually I was playing in the garden at my grandma's house. I used to stay with my grandma for a couple of weeks every summer during the school holidays. And I was mucking around outside and she called me in, Doctor Who's on. And I came in just in time to see the cliffhanger of the Daleks smashing through the wall, right? So I missed the whole bit with Romana regenerating at the start. And I was glued from the next episode from the start and very confused as to why Romana had a different face. Obviously, now I know. And then I seem to remember it was shortly after either my birthday or Christmas. I was in, I think it was a Debenhams store. Debenhams was a department store in the UK. And they had this big pile of Doctor Who novels, Destiny of the Daleks. And I bought it. Very thin novel. Terrence Dicks doing his factory sort of churn out thing at the time. And that was my first Doctor Who novel. And I went on to collect all of the Target books and ended up with a massive Doctor Who collection. So, this is Ruins of Skaro. In here we have a Suicide Dalek. Now, I already have a Suicide Dalek from an older set. This is a newer mould. And a couple of Movellans. So, let me read from the box for you. Ruins of Skaro collector figure set, Destiny of the Daleks, 1979. I was 8 in 1979. The TARDIS brings the Doctor and Romana to a scarred, radioactive and barren planet. The surface is rocked by seismic activity and the sounds of drilling from deep underground. Shortly after arrival, a spacecraft of very advanced design lands nearby and fires high-power lasers at the pair when they approach. Retreating into the nearby ruins of a city, Romana is soon captured by a patrol of Daleks. It seems the Daleks are on the planet Skaro and are using forced labour to dig into the remains of the old car-led city. It's revealed that the Daleks are waging an endless space war against a race of humanoid robots called Movellans, and the Daleks are attempting to find their creator, Davros, to help them win. Meanwhile, the Doctor is targeted by the Movellans for the same reason, to foil the Daleks. After a deadly chase through the underground ruins, Davros is indeed found and revived by the Daleks. Realising the Movellans have the Doctor, he orders the last surviving Daleks loaded with explosives to destroy the Movellan ship before it can take off. Let's see here. Destiny was commissioned on an idea that the Daleks were locked in a logical impasse with a race of robots, each unable to break the conflict using their battle computers. The Daleks would then seek out their creator on Skaro, and the Movellans would then find out what the Daleks were up to and attempt to foil their plans. The aesthetically beautiful Movellan robots are a stark contrast with the ragtag assemblage of battered Daleks. In this war, the Daleks are on the back foot against an aggressor that's better armed, better organised, and frankly better looking. And things are not going to plan. One of the major issues confronting production was the battered condition of the surviving Dalek casings. The lead Dalek was the best surviving prop from Genesis. The other three were made up of cannibalised and patched up props. These three Daleks were repainted in a very mismatched colour scheme that is almost a battleship blue-grey. Despite this, Destiny of the Daleks is regarded as a highlight of its season. I'll just put that there if you wanted to pause it and read it yourself, but I've already read it out for you. So yes, the Dalek props in this story, they don't look very good. I'm just going to open this now. In my headcanon is that the reason that no two Daleks have the same colour scheme is that they've basically been assembled from different rear echelon brigades around the galaxy, and this is kind of like a dirty dozen almost kind of assemblage of Daleks. Anyway, so we are now opening the box, and here we are. Very nice backdrop there. Now, I don't normally keep the backdrops in these boxes, but I think I might actually keep this one because rather than just being like a planet's surface or, you know, like the inside of the TARDIS or something like that, it actually appears to be quite relevant, specifically relevant to the story, and could be used in a nice display. So I've taken the Daleks out now, and what we have is, this is basically a backdrop of the interior of the Mavellan ship, and we have Mavellan guns here lined up, and basically we have Davros, creator of the Daleks, humanoid mutant, file cycle initiated, blah blah blah. This is what they were looking at on their screen in their ship. So also cool, right? Some footprints from all the mud and the clay. Sorry about the edit there. My daughter just came down to grab something from the kitchen. So yes, anyway, I'm opening this now. As I was saying, I went to Winspit Quarry last year with some of my my Destiny Daleks, and took some very nice photos of, you know, my Daleks in the actual locations. Took a photo of the TARDIS in the location where they'd filmed it landing, all that kind of stuff. They'd also filmed some Blake 7 there, and I think some Andor from Star Wars. I might go back again now that I've got some Mavellans. But anyway, I've now opened this box, and here we have our suicide Dalek with, you know, pills on the side. So, you know, typical Dalek rotation, that spins around, that goes around. We've got some nice sort of wear and tear on the bottom here, which is what we also saw with some of the Destiny Daleks, I seem to recall. Obviously the head moves, the dome moves, the eye stalk moves, the gun stick moves, and the plunger arm moves. Nothing particularly unusual about this Dalek, apart from the fact that it's got the suicide bombs strapped to it. I have read somewhere that the bombs should actually be strapped on the mesh and not on the slats, but if I recall, they were magnetic in the story, so I don't think it really matters. And anyway, I've got the older one, so, you know, whatever. I've got one of each now. So I'm now going to open the Mavellans. It looks like we've got two female Mavellans, although, of course, are they really female? Because they're robots, right? Here is the first one. So, very nice looking figure. All new moulds, if I recall. So we've got sort of waist articulation there. We've got head articulation. Arms go up and down. We've got arm rotation. The arms bend. The hands also turn. The legs, we've got leg rotation, we've got leg bending, no foot movement though, but very nice figure. That's one Mavellan, and I'm just going to get the second one out now. So just slice through this string. See, I'm being quite restrained here. Normally I would have opened this up when it arrived today, but I was actually working. So I've actually put it off till the evening, and I'll probably release this as a special Total Ramblings unboxing video, which might be like a new sort of sub-series. I don't know, if I'm honest with you. So here is the second Mavellan. So as you can see, I think it's, yeah, different face mould. So the profiles of the face are different, and slightly different skin tone. Okay, so one is darker than the other, but actually when you look at them in profile, the noses are different. They are actually two different moulds. I think the bodies are the same. But yeah, very nice to finally have some Movellans. Never thought we'd see the day. And one final thing in this box is we have 2 of these Movellan blaster cannon thingies, hand guns. And let me see if I can get one of them to hold. These arms seem very, very flimsy. And obviously where they're brand new, you know, I don't want to force them. I don't want to break them, you know. But let me just see if I can get this Movellan to hold one of these hand cannons. Bear with me, caller. Please talk amongst yourselves. Again, I'm just being very careful. I don't want to break these things as soon as I've got them, you know. That would be most unfortunate. So there is a bit of a curve there in the hand. You can hear the plastic creaking. Right, there we go. It's not perfect, but she will actually hold the gun. And in addition to that, let's take this other one. There's a little groove there. Are you going to focus for me? There's a little groove there on the gun, right? And that, I think it just slots. So you see here on the belt, there's like a little peg almost. And you can kind of, look at that, slot the gun on the belt, which I approve of. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, the legs also open up a little bit like that. But yeah, that is really cool because you can just kind of have them stood there. I'd like more of these because, you know, more Daleks and Movellans would always be good. But of course they're the same. I mean, even though they were robots, they weren't actually the same in the story. You know, they were different. They seem to have their own different, not personalities as such, but you know, they were distinctly different, the Movellans. Anyway, let me just give you, oops, one final shot of them all together. Bear with me. And there we go. The Ruins of Skaro set from Character, announced I think 2 days ago, arrived today. It's Wednesday, it's the 17th of April 2024, and this is Total Rambling's first pure unboxing video, and I hope very much that you enjoyed it. Thank you.
If you enjoy what I do here, although I can't think why, please remember to click the like button, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell icon to be notified whenever I post a new video. You might also want to check out my website, www.worldsbestestpoet.com, if you fancy a laugh.